Hey guys, today I wanted to talk about the Witch Queen and its new raid. With all the news about weapon crafting, Void 3.0 and the legendary campaign, I thought it would be fun to instead run through some of my hypotheses about the new raid. What we know so far is that this raid will take place in a pyramid ship deep in the swamps of Sabathun's throne world. Now, before we start with the hypothesis, let's go through some Bungie raid basics. First, within recent memory, every raid has been teased by the enemies near its entrance. Volta Glass had an entrance guarded by Vex. The Deepstone Crypt had an entrance that even in patrol was guarded by Fallen and console guards. This also applies to the Last Wish, that on patrol you will see Taken, Scorn, and even Hive fighting on the entrance of the Blind Well. Another example is Guardian of Salvation. Second, we know that new raid opponents in Destiny have to match the theme of the expansion and the enemies in their surrounding. Let's think for a second of what we're probably up against. We know that coming in the season of the Reason, we'll be allied with the Cabal as Cadal seeks to help us defeat the Lucent Brood. The most major force of falling in the solar system, Mithrax's House of Light, are already allied with us. That leaves us with four choices: Hive, Scorn, Vex, or yet undiscovered enemy race like the Taken and the Taken King. We know that the raid is based in a sunken pyramid ship in the swamps of Sabathun's throne world. Our mission in the raid is to explore and presumably defeat the ancient enemy imprisoned within this ship. My prediction is that the Scorn will be the primary antagonist of the raid. There are two main reasons I predict Scorn. The first is obvious. We have a number of footage of Guardians facing Scorn in the swamps of Sabathun's throne world without any reason for them to be there. Hence, they must be in the raid. Secondly, the Scorn makes sense thematically. As I've already mentioned, it would feel weird for this raid to concern the Falling or Cabal. We know that the raid itself would concern a Pyramid of Darkness, leading me to believe that the enemy will be somehow connected to the darkness. The Vex, and I'm not a lore expert, have never really been connected to the darkness or the pyramids in Destiny. That leaves us with two potential enemies, the Scorn or the Hive. I can't really think of a way for Hive to make sense as the antagonist unless we're just repeating DLC. Defend a spooky technology from the main baddie of the DLC. Since, theoretically, Sabathun controls the Hive within her own throne world. That leaves Scorn, which makes sense. In fact, Bungie has already told us that the new raid is in a sunken pyramid, implying that we'll be traveling down into the raid to face whatever evil threat awaits us, which connects with this footage of Guardians fighting their way down a bridge defended by Scorn. It's highly unlikely that what we're seeing right now is actual raid footage, but I believe that this is a patrol area that directly connects to the entrance of the ship. We know that the Scorn are made by exposing the Falling to the darkness via Dark Ether, courtesy of the ancient knowledge of the darkness. So, it makes sense that the pyramid in the throne will be defended by the Scorn. Having traveled with the ship before crash landing or been in the swamp for a very long time, the Scorn is a very good bet. Now, to the cool part of this video. We had the opportunity to ask Chevy about his theories and predictions for this new raid, and he was generous enough to share some great and interesting takes. Please check Chevy's socials and Twitch link in the description. Let's get into it. We asked Chevy, based on the information we have, how did the pyramid ship ended up in the swamps? He said that the pyramid ship is there because it's supposed to represent the dark side and her past. The interactive post explains that a bit. You will find a link to the interactive post in the description. When we ask, Scorn are being posted as the most likely enemy for the raid by some members of the community. Can you give us your opinion on how likely this can be and why? He said, refer to the image. That is highly likely the raid entrance, and there is a random Scorn enemy. Also, being the history and everything, I think it makes sense. And I don't know about you guys, but if you look closely, there's a reason why he says that. And just to wrap up this DM interview, we ask, What is your opinion on the hypothesis that the Scorn made a failed incursion to the crash ship and got imprisoned? And of course, we need to ask you, who you think is the boss? He replied, "Don't think it's a crashed ship. Everything there is Savathun's making. I do believe the Scorn tried to infiltrate it in order to free the impersonation being, which I believe is Savathun's worm god she made a pact with. I think this is the final piece for her to fully be able to utilize the light. It's possible she made a deal with to make this Hive Guardians, and this will break her free from that, or she just needs it going in general. Plenty of options." And on that note, I want to thank Chevy for letting us pick his brain and share with us some of the theories and his point of view of what we can expect on March 5th. During this video, I'll be showcasing in the background some footage of the pyramid that is currently in the moon. This is the closest we have to any pyramid, so I decided to venture in and capture these images for you guys. I'm gonna let the footage run until the end of the video. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check Chevy's links in the description, and good luck with your endeavors.